You're listening to the Things Podcast, brought to you by the Things Industries.
Hi, everybody. This is Alix Paultre, and I'm at the Things Conference with Dieter Gross. He's with EBV Elektronik, but the Germans don't say EBV, do they? EBV, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And what does it stand for?
So it's a long history. So it was something, really German. So distributor of electronics components. If you translate it from the German, and elektronische Bauteileverteiler was one of the meanings which is said. So nowadays it's not so clear any longer what the letters are there.
So we don't need to know, it's just EBV.
We call us EBV, and we know it. And if you're in Germany, EBV is also working well. Also in other countries, it's I recognize that the people are pronouncing the same way as in German. So it's always funny. Yeah.
It is interesting. So now, what do you have here at the show today?
So what we are showing at this show is really how we enable our customers in the edge and in the IoT world. So we are there together with partners. As we are, let me tell you first, our main business is really to sell semiconductor components. So this is our bread and butter business. So we are selling this in a B2B fashion to small and medium-sized customers who are making and manufacturing their own electronic designs, electronic devices. This is our base of customers, and we show today how we enable those customers for Cyber Resilience Act, how to get secured into the cloud, how to make an over-the-air update to be ready for it, and then how to leverage the hardware security. This is what we know. What we have really free trainings, free software on GitHub available, all these things. This is on the IoT front, but also on the other end, we have also Edge AI. There's a lot of enablement done by our silicon vendors, but we now bring it down to a level so that you can get all the code and the firmware on GitHub and use existing eval boards or even industrial solutions and really run your Edge AI the demo on it and get data transmitted to the cloud so that you can really leverage the edge and aggregate everything locally and just have a lean footprint on the cloud, which is making sense when you want to massively deploy those devices, so that you do all the device management and all these things in the cloud, get the meaningful data there, and have all the privacy in the device so that you can really analyze and stream, analyze all the data without streaming a massive amount of data to the cloud.
Exactly. Now, one thing, Dieter, that I've always found interesting, you had mentioned security earlier and resiliency and secure updates and all of that aspect, hardware security. What I found interesting is security is literally one of the oldest application spaces in humanity. Ever since you had a piece of meat, you'd hang it from the tree to keep the animals from it, or you'd put a big rock in front of your cave. And then with all of this electronics, security has almost seemed like an afterthought all of this time. And only now it seems like people are taking it seriously, which is odd.
It is, so it's interesting to see. We have in Europe the Cyber Resilience Act from the European Commission. So basically it's enforcing a security best practice. Also, which is then also can often be done with a self-assessment and these things. But it's really to bring the people in to enforce security and to really take ownership and responsibility of it. Let me tell you one thing. When I was in a previous work, I was doing the process development in an industrial environment. So I just came to a prototype machine, wanted to test something new. I just tell to the engineer, please switch off the security. I want to I want to do some things, because normally you secure you make an invasive system is secured for everything so that you don't get injuries. But when you know the machine, you want to just manipulate the things yourself. You know what to do. At the end, when you then in the process you do this, but it's often the thing. Security is something which adds some layer of complexity in the beginning, and this is something where the people tend to remove it. But it's a bad thing to think about this. So security is not only for communication, but something which I also want to emphasize. So for the moment, we are looking about data, all the data safety and these things. But so having hardware security allows you also to give to ask a manufacturer could use your device with your intellectual property somewhere else, and you put to this secure element which is provisioned by us, and then you can make sure that your manufacturer is producing 10K pieces for you, and not producing 1,000,000 pieces and delivering 10K pieces to you, and selling the rest somewhere else. So with this you can protect your intellectual property. So there's more around in this hardware security than securing the data, but securing the identity of the device, authentify your device, encrypt the communication, but also to really ensure that it's a genuine product, and it is only you. It's only for the owner of the intellectual property.
Aye. Well, on a related note, and as a distributor, you would understand that and resonate with it, is another aspect of device security is counterfeit protection. Because in addition to making sure that the device is yours, the code is yours, the IP is yours, then you have to make sure that that device wasn't sweat off of a used circuit board, in India somewhere, or
Yep.
is a different package that they repainted, with new code letters on it or something. Like, there's a real danger.
Yeah.
Counterfeit parts, and working with a good distributor helps avoid those issues too.
This is also one of the things that's what being a distributor of the big semiconductor component manufacturers. It's really avoiding those obstacles, and really to be able to track the things and be sure that these things that you nailed it down. It's really important to have genuine products and to verify this. This is what we can do here as well.
Well, and that's not even it could be the case of repurposed product, but it could be gray market. It could be those products were intended for those chips were supposed to go to a client in Japan, and you wound up getting those chips. But maybe those chips weren't the ones tailored for your application. They're tailored for their application.
Or they just expired more or less from the time, so that there are some other issues. So with the date codes and all the things which are in there, so there's a lot of things you can think of, and that's a really so it is a real danger when you go to all these safety. All the machine safety rules. So if somebody gets injured by this having not the right parts, that's something
Serious.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, so tell us a little bit more about how much you work with the developers, because a lot of distributors are doing more to be more of a design center aid for their customers as well, doing some IP integration, maybe helping with various line card companies put their things together. Are you involved in that as well?
So that's what we want to show, and what we had in the two keynotes we had here. So I was standing on the stage together with my colleague from NXP and also from AWS. So we are bringing really together we're bringing together all the things from the tech companies and making it easy accessible for our customers, the small, medium-sized businesses who are doing this. And this is the big thing we can leverage. So EBV is one of the top customers as a distributor at our semiconductor components manufacturers. So we are somebody they talk to. So to talk to the small, medium-sized customers, this is something the semiconductor components manufacturers cannot do this, but we can do, and we bring in then connecting partners and everybody together. So that is really that's really working, and it's really enabling. And with this, so we have here also done a workshop. We have colleagues are making a workshop tours all over EMEA, really making hands-on, looking how to implement Sapphire and really porting things from different microcontrollers, and having just on Sapphire everything. It's written. You don't change it. You just say the hardware abstraction layer. You use this, and this is something which is really of high interest to get this done, and our customers like this. But then we take it also to tell them, okay, look, we have also here a secure element on top. How can you onboard really hardware security, a device with hardware security on the cloud? What do you need to do? How it's done? Get your hands on and really get this experience. Then we show how you easily push an over-the-air adapt to a fleet of devices. In this way, these are things we are doing on. So especially for cybersecurity and Sapphire, we are currently running this workshop with NXP, and also connectivity from Simprom. And everything is based on our cloud solution accelerator, which is called IoT Connect, and this is powered by AWS. And that's why AWS is also in and really supporting us here at this show, and also really was coming also with us on stage. So this is really a great partnership, and it was really great to have these colleagues with me on the stage here. So the other thing I want to say is also we were speaking a lot of IoT, but also there's a lot of so AI is the buzzword of this year, I would say. So we see for us the more important thing is AI at the edge. So doing some vision AI, really aggregated data on the device and sending it then to the cloud. This is the thing we do. Here we have, with our team from the United States, within our FNet group, we have really a great team doing the enablement to bring from our suppliers like NXP all these ready models to the customer. So we're doing free webinars normally once per month. We are doing a 1-hour webinar where you have really a walkthrough demo how to you need to what steps you need to do to program your device and get the edge AI models on existing demo hardware, and then enable it really to do a coding-free proof of concept or evaluation of an AI model, so that you really can start fast. And this is really what we want to show here, is that with us, IoT and edge AI can be done simple, secure, and scalable. That's the message we want to take across, and we have a really good feedback from the people here.
I can imagine so, Dieter, because that's something that everybody needs, right? And it's got to be cost effective. So thanks for taking the time to come chat with us. I really appreciate it.
I also appreciate it, and really thank you for this opportunity. It was a great show here.